Hear me. We've heard of Danish heroes, ancient kings, and the glory they cut for themselves, swinging mighty swords. Scyld was one of those heroes. An abandoned child, he traveled to Denmark alone, but changed his own fate, and lived to be rich and much honored. He gave them more than his glory. He conceived a son for the Danes, a new leader, the Prince Beowulf. Scyld's strong son was the glory of Denmark, ruling as long as his father, and as loved, a famous lord of men. He in turn gave his people a son, the great Healfdene, who led the Danes to the end of his long life and left them his son, Hrothgar. Hrothgar thought of greatness and resolved to build a hall that would hold his mighty band and reach higher toward heaven than anything that had ever been known to the sons of man. And Hrothgar's men lived happy in this hall till the monster stirred, that demon Grendel. When darkness had dropped, Grendel went up to heaven, and there in silence snatched up 30, smashing them unknowingly with beds. At daybreak, their long feast broke with tears and laments for the dead. Hrothgar sank joyless in heaven, for none of his bravest warriors could slay the beast. What Denmark was a hero.
Halt! Who goes there?
I'm Beowulf, son of Ecgtheow.
What brings you here?
I've come to rid your land of the evil lurking here.
Very well, I will take you to my king.
Here's Hrothgar. There are some warriors who have sailed all the way from Gaeland to deliver a message to you. See and hear what they have to say, my lord. Bring them in.
Your Majesty, I am Beowulf, son of Ecgtheow, come to slay the evil that dwells in your land.
Ah, Beowulf, I remember you as a young child. I also remember your father. I also remember how your father killed that wolfing warrior and how I paid the death price for him. I suppose you're here to pay that back?
I'm here to add to my great reputation, no matter what the cost.
Beowulf! Is that you? You pathetic excuse for a warrior? Is it you that you swam a swimming match and you lost? What on this Anglo-Saxon earth makes you think you come into this land and rid us of the evil here? No other warrior has lived through this.
It is true that I lost a swimming race, but not because Greco was a better swimmer than me.
I remained near him for 5 long nights, until a flood swept us apart. The frozen sea surged around me, it grew dark, the wind turned bitter. Creatures who sleep deep in the sea were stirred into life. A monster seized me and carried me swiftly towards the bottom, swimming with its claws tight in my flesh. But fate let me find its heart with my sword, and hack myself free. I fought that beast's last battle and left it floating, lifeless in the sea.
You are half the warrior you said you were. Greco wouldn't dare come into this hall. But I have come, and I'll kill him with my bare hands.
Beowulf, we accept you with gratitude into our hall. Purge Herod clean, and your ships will sail home, full of treasure.
And so they held a feast, welcoming the gates into their hall. But Beowulf remained alert and wakeful, watching, waiting eager to meet his enemy, and angry at the thought of his coming. Out Out of the marsh, from the foot of misty hills and bogs, bearing God's hatred, Grendel came, hoping to kill anyone he could on this trip to High Herit.
One man came to Denmark and did what none of the Danes could do. Now, Beowulf, let me make you my son, and in return, take from whatever I own.
I wish I could show you Grendel's corpse, Your Majesty, but alas, as hard as I've held him, he drifted away with the strength of spirit given him. Now he waits.
But Grendel was not alone. His mother was taking revenge for Beowulf's victory over Grendel, a second hungry fiend, determined to avenge the first. She lives in secret places, windy cliffs, wolf dens, where the groves of trees growing out over her lake are all covered with frozen spray, and the roots wind down like snakes toward the water. At night, the lake burns like a torch. No one knows its bottom. No wisdom reaches such depths. Grendel's mother was in her terrible home, and once again the Danes' only help lay with Beowulf.
Our problems have not ended. Grendel's mother is a demon who still haunts our land to avenge her son's death.
Each of us comes to the end of this life on earth. He who can earn it should fight for the glory of his name. Fame after death is the noblest of goals. Arise, guardian of this kingdom. Let us go quickly to where the lady monster is. I tell you the truth. She will find no shelter, no hole in the ground, no towering tree, no deep bottom of a lake where her sins can hide. Patient for one more day of misery, I ask for no longer.
Beowulf, I finally realized that you are the man that you say you are. I'd like to give you something. Here's for hunting. The father, this belonged to my father. Did you have it? It serves you as well as served him.
Thank you, noble Unferth.
Farewell, noble Beowulf. Good luck in ridding our land of this evil.
For hours, Beowulf sank through the waves, until at last he saw the mud of the bottom. All at once, the greedy she-wolf saw that a creature from above had come to explore the bottom of her wet world. She welcomed him in her claws, clutched at him savagely, but could not harm him. She tried to work her fingers through the tight ring-woven mail on his breast, but tore and scratched in vain. Then she carried him to her home, a battle hall. Beowulf swung his sword at the mighty water witch. His blade sang its fierce song, sang of Beowulf's strength. But Hrunting could not hurt her. It proved useless now, when he needed it most. He tossed the sword aside and saw, hanging on the wall, another sword. It was hammered by the giants, strong and blessed with their magic, but so massive that no ordinary man could lift it. Beowulf drew it from its scabbard, and now, savage and angry, lifted it high above his head and caught Grendel's mother in the neck. He cut through, cleaving bone and all, and her body fell to the floor, lifeless. Beowulf, heart still angry, went hunting for another dead monster, Grendel. He found him lying dead in his corner and struck off his head with a single blow and dragged it out of the hall. And then the battle's only survivor swam up and away from those silent corpses. The water was calm and clean. The huge lake was peaceful since the demons who lived in it were dead.
I have done it! I have slain Grendel's vile mother and beheaded her son!
Beowulf! 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 Beowulf!
And once again, Danes and Geats feasted together, a host of famous warriors in a single hall. Hrothgar bestowed many fortunes on Beowulf and sent him on his way, but not before a parting address.
Beowulf, I have some final words for you. Take no delight in mere gold. Guard against such wickedness. Beloved Beowulf, best of warriors, and choose instead eternal happiness. Push away pride. Your strength, your power are yours for how many years? Soon you'll return them where you came from. Sickness, or sword's edge will end them, or grasping fire, or the flight of a spear, or surging waves, or a knife's bite, or the terror of old age, or your eyes darkening over. It will come, death comes, faster than you think, no one can flee it. Now, let me grace you with treasure, and you can be on your way.
And then Beowulf left him, and went to where his ship lay anchored. They loaded it high with armor and horses, and all the treasure it could hold. Then the ship left shore, left Denmark, traveled through deep water. Deck timbers creaked, and the wind billowing through the sails stretched tight from the mast. The ring-proud ship foamed swiftly through the waves until they could see the familiar cliffs that sprang out of Geatish shore. The Geats ran to meet their beloved comrades and welcomed them with open arms. Beowulf went up to their king Hygelac and told him the story of all he had done. Afterwards, in the time when Hygelac was dead, and Herdred, his son, who ruled the Geats after his father, was killed by the Swedes in battle, Beowulf ruled in Geatland. He took the throne which he'd refused once before, and remained king for 50 winters. The Geats enjoyed peace and prosperity throughout his reign, until one day a slave foolishly awoke a terrible...
You will upset me! Get out of my house!
The beast waited until evening came, then took off, seeking its bloody revenge.
Beowulf! There's a dragon terror in the countryside! You must do something! I'll have to fight it!
No, Beowulf! You are not fighting use.
As a king, it is my duty to protect my land and my people.
But my lord!
That's enough! I will do it for the glory and honor of Gateland.
And so Beowulf ordered a battle shield shaped of iron, knowing that wood would be useless, that no linden shield could protect him from the flaming heat of the dragon's breath. Then Beowulf, along with a dozen of his strongest warriors, set out to where the beast lay ready to greet him. Beowulf strode confidently towards the den, still brave and still strong, with his sword and shield at his side. The beast arose from his slumber, prepared to slaughter the human foolish enough to enter his home. Beowulf swung his shield into place and prepared to meet the beast.
Hey, look at Beowulf. Look, Beowulf's doing a really good job. He's so brave, but
But we're way braver than Beowulf.
We're the bravest men of this entire country.
Absolutely.
We're the bravest soldiers.
Well,
And bravest. He's doing a really good job, though, hey?
Yeah, but
Beowulf!
Wiglaf, go, quickly. Find the treasure. We've taken its life, but its gold is ours too. Bring me ancient silver, precious jewels, and gems before I die. Death will be softer leaving this life and this people I've ruled for so long. If I look at this last of all prizes.
It will be done, my lord.
This treasure, this gold, I thank our Father in heaven, ruler of all the earth. While I still have breath in me, allowed me to bring this to my people. Wiglaf, I leave it all to you. Lead my people. Help them. My time is gone.
And then Wiglaf was left, a young warrior sadly watching his beloved king, seeing him stretched on the ground. Wiglaf commanded the wealthiest gates, brave warriors and owners of the land, the leaders of his people, to bring wood for Beowulf's funeral. He then took 7 men to where the dragon's vast hoard of treasure lay, and they piled wagons high with gold and precious jewels, which they brought to where the pyre waited. The bears brought their beloved lord, and, weeping, laid him high on the wood. One of the warriors began to kindle the greatest of funeral fires, and while they wept, the fire roared, and Beowulf's body crumbled and was gone. And that was the end of the greatest king the Gates had ever known. 12 Gates rode their horses around the country, telling their sorrow, telling stories of their dead king and his greatness, his glory, praising him for his noble deeds. His followers rode, mourning their beloved leader, crying that no better king had ever lived, no prince so mighty, no man so loyal to his people, so deserving of their praise.
Behind the scenes of the Beowulf movie. A star production.
Okay, you ready?
Tyler Post being an idiot.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we're gonna take the interpretation of Wiglaf a little differently, but we still think it'll work. Here we are, just trying our costumes on.
Annoying. That's the cat. That's Steve's cat.
Rock and roll. So this is us. We just changed our mind about filming, and we're going home. Behind the scenes, one scene wrecking the village. So, Colin, these are the remains of your popsicle stick houses.
That sucks, but you did good, Colin. We appreciate your work.
Everyone say thank you, Colin.
Thank you, Colin.
Colin.
So, everyone, this is the sleeping arrangements for tonight. Here's Ruben with another behind the scenes. Here at Star Enterprises, we're all about yellow colored water. Here at Star Productions, we're all about making things look real. That's why we're getting this water. This is Alex taking one for the team. His eyes are on fire.
That's sweet. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll be signing autographs after the movie. If you want, we'll be standing at the door. Sign ratio. I'm gonna stand on this side.
Over there. Is this a good pose?
Work out. Amen.